Hi, this is a video on how to use the web limiting features in LanSchool for students that you have pulled up. Now, you might have an entire class pulled up using your saved LanSchool class list, which is what I recommend. But this video is not how to make that class list. It's on how to do things once you have your class list loaded. So we're going to learn how to limit the web today. And if I go to this little drop down right here, you see there's three lists up top: block all, an allow list, and a block list. Block all means if I hit block all on here, it's going to say, hey, you're about to restrict internet access on these two students. If I continue, now see it's got a little web lock down there. Students cannot use the internet at all right now. So if I'm trying to keep them focused on something we're doing in class, maybe we're doing a Word document, we're doing an Excel document, we're not using the internet at all, and I want to keep them from wandering off and opening up their laptop and doing something I don't want them to do, I can click that, and that blocks all access. And you can see when I clicked it again, it unblocked that. The next thing down is allow list. When I click the allow list, I'm going to restrict access to the allow list on these two computers, and I hit continue. The question is, what is that allow list? If I drop down and go to configure web limiting, right now there's nothing allowed. But let's say I want to allow specific things. So I'm going to go and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to allow Moodle. So I'm going to copy this Moodle address and paste it in here. And you know what? I could save that right now as a web list that says when I have this loaded, my students can go to Moodle, and that's it. So I can hit apply right now. That's where they go. I can save this. In fact, I already have as a list called Moodle. And then later on, if I wanted to open up, I could load that list called Moodle. I can also make additional lists of things. So let's say I want to be able to use, I've got the history channel pulled up. In this case, during this test, I want them to use Moodle and the history channel. And I'm going to hit save as Moodle-history. Because I'm a social studies teacher, and that's two of the classes things that I let them see. So right now, they're restricted, and they can only allow the following websites. Maybe I want them to use YouTube. Maybe I want them to use Wikipedia. It doesn't matter what your list is. When you use a list of allowed websites, and it will remember whatever you had open last, if you click that button on the allow list and hit the limit web, it's going to limit them to just that. Okay, that's restricted. And again, it remembers where I was last. So it knows if I hit this button, it's going to do the one of these three that I did the last. I'm going to go back to configure web limiting. I can also make a blocked website. I want them to go everywhere except for a specific place. And I'm going to pretend this silvergames.com is someplace they've been going to. I notice my students going there all the time. So I'm going to copy that into my list of block the following sites, and I'm going to block all of silvergames.com. And I can, if I want to limit YouTube, whatever I want to block, I can build my own list of sites I don't want them to go to while they're in my room and make a block site list. And again, I can save that as I can make one, say, games that I don't want them to go to when we're doing classwork. And if I apply that now, what they're restricted from, and you can see you can only do one at a time. You can either block all, allow a list, or block a list. Those are my three choices. And now if I look at this, it's on the block list. And everybody in my class that would be listed on my class list would be blocked at the exact same time from going the exact same places. There's lots of other things I can do, but this video was just on how to limit the internet and web browsing by students when they're in my class in my LanSchool group. And that's it for today's video. Thanks.